This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Julian Edelman from Games with Names. Applebee's just cooked up the ultimate option play with their new Ultimate Trio deal. You can choose from 3 of their delicious appetizers and pair them up with 3 sauces for just $14.99. Craft your perfect trio from over 80,000 different combinations in this flavor-packed plate built for one, or to share if you're generous. You could stick with the classic pairings like boneless wings and buffalo sauce, or you could spice things up and try some unexpected combinations like dipping chicken wonton tacos in their honey Dijon mustard. It's time to head to your neighborhood Applebee's or order online today. That's eating good in the neighborhood.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang!
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Just in case you missed it, it's the top 5 sports talkers of the day. Now, it's time for Dan Barreiro's Top 5 at 5. Brought to you by Gutter Helmet of Minnesota. Never clean your gutters again. Learn more at gutterhelmetmn.com.
Can I give you a Top 5 at 5 item?
It's your show.
You might have seen this one, I don't know, but it's worthy, I think, of at least a minute or two. The National Football League indefinitely suspended a Buffalo Bills fan from all league stadiums for hitting Baltimore Ravens wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins and quarterback Lamar Jackson on the helmet during Sunday night's game. Bills announced the fan suspension on Monday. This is an athletic story. They acknowledge ESPN first reported the news. Fan was ejected after he shoved the side of Hopkins' helmet after the receiver caught a 29-yard touchdown pass from Jackson, giving Baltimore a 34-19 lead with just over 1 minute remaining in the third quarter. After scoring, and I think this was all, we saw this captured last night, right? After scoring, Jackson and Hopkins walked past the stands as they were celebrating. And that's when the fan reached over the front row, shoved the side of Hopkins' helmet. The fan then hit the front of Jackson's helmet forcefully, and Jackson retaliated by pushing the fan in the chest with both hands. Here's a quote from your guy, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Used to play in Buffalo and is now an Amazon Prime Video analyst. Look, he's a Bulls fan. He's a Bills fan. He's part of Bills Mafia, but that's inexcusable. It's one thing if somebody does a Lambeau leap that's not a Packer and you're there and you sort of catch them and push them back in. I get it. But he reached across, did it to multiple players. D-Hop, DeAndre Hopkins, D-Hop.
Love D-Hop.
And Lamar, completely inexcusable. And with things like that, you have to be able to set the example. So there it is.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Right?
100%. Yeah, it's not even close. It should be non-negotiable. That's the right punishment.
I always wonder how they enforce this.
Yeah, I do too.
I always wonder,
it's hard.
and I'm sure they have ways.
Yes.
And I'm sure if you get caught, you probably get in a lot more trouble than you would be otherwise.
Correct.
But, of course, they have to do that. And Buffalo's fans are close, too.
Yeah.
I'm always struck by that when they play a game there, when I watch a game that's played there.
Right.
Especially down in the end zone in that area. They are right there. I mean, it's like some of the college stadiums that I go to. That was the game of the night and the game of the weekend, which was an interesting opening weekend, I'd say.
Extremely.
I could give you 50 numbers about the Bills' comeback victory over the Ravens. You know, historical precedent, week 1 precedent. First time a team's gone had a 15-point deficit and won with 4 minutes or fewer to play since I think 2017. Doesn't happen very often.
No.
Teams historically are like 3 in 3,000 when faced with the same odds. But what happens? You get a turnover. You get a quick score. You get a turnover.
The fumble was obviously the thing that turned
Something has to open the door, right? And then Baltimore decides to punt a 4th and 3 near midfield that analytics would tell you they should have gone for it. Their win percentage was actually better. And again, you can split the hairs there if you want.
Why is Peter Schrager on the ESPN pregame dais or whatever, the stage right now? Why is he on there?
What do you mean?
Why is he involved?
Because they like him.
He's never played.
That's a good point.
Never played. What's he doing? He looked a little frightened. He was on the panel earlier with Ryan Clark.
Yes. They apparently gave each other a fist bump to start the proceedings.
Of course they did. Yeah, they're now that, and I think did Clark apologize on set or just via X?
I don't know if he did it on set.
Okay,
because we've been here, but yeah, he did. He apparently did a private apology as well.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Your guy RC's losing me a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard.
I like him. I think he's been a good addition to the show, but there's a lot of that. There's a lot of apologizing for things. When you're apologizing more than salient points you're making, that's a little bit of an issue. 41-40 was the final last night in Buffalo, by the way. It was a hell of a game.
It was. The stat that caught my attention the most is, did I read that was the 8th time or 8th game since I believe it was 2020 or 21 that the Ravens allegedly had a 90% or better chance to win in the second half and still lost. Some stat like that or close to it that represented it. They seem to have that propensity. You saw they look like a juggernaut, a machine, which they can do.
Yes.
But then there's these other stretches where they can't get the one more first down. And as good as the quarterback is, he can't make the one more play. And let's face it, fourth quarter, Buffalo and their quarterback made every play.
Yeah.
I mean, literally every pass, every play that they absolutely had to make, other than, I guess, the 2-point conversion they didn't get, but they knew they were going to get the ball back anyway, so it didn't even matter.
Orlovsky, who did play.
Yes.
Put together the back-to-back plays that got them into field goal range, and just all the things that Josh Allen did to manipulate that. And to see it like that, like Salisbury did for you last week, to see him just go, and this is where he did here, and now watch what happens here. This is going to open up. This guy's got one job, bang. And to see how breaking news, Josh Allen's really good, but when he's on a roll like that and a heater like that, it is magnificent.
You know who discovered? You know what? Bumper to bumper guest discovered Josh Allen. Don't you?
I'm going to say you're going to say Patrick Royce.
Kevin Kernan.
Oh, Kevin Kernan.
Kevin Kernan allegedly identified him in the media before anybody else did. Went way back. I don't even remember what the connection was, but he was let's just say that he was Kevin Kernan's guy before he was anybody's
Even
guy.
Royce, who saw him at Wyoming.
That's it. Doesn't even matter.
And
go ahead.
Kernan also would add the nerds would never let him play.
That's also true.
You'd say a scout who's worked forever for 60 years. Those are the guys you got to talk to. And I have a good relationship with those guys. And I talked to him, and he said Josh Allen's the guy. The nerds wouldn't even put him in the Elite 11 camp that Ben Gessling wrote about with J.J. McCarthy.
That is correct.
The only other NFL thing, I mean, there's a lot, obviously. It was a pretty fun week, pretty fun weekend. People are, I think, overreacting, and this is a protective measure.
Well, but it tends to happen first week.
To the Green Bay Packers' domination of the Detroit Lions, 27-13, and it probably wasn't even that close. Micah Parsons was tremendous. In the plays where he played, I think the Lions averaged like 2.9 yards a play. And then in the plays where he didn't, it was like closer to 5, which still wasn't great, 4 or 5, whatever it was. But they put an emphatic stamp on weekend one. And I think the Lions might be in trouble.
They might.
Because now they have to play Baltimore.
Goofy.
Yes. Yeah. And Rex Ryan was calling him check down Charlie today. Just mocking him and saying, this is the Lions. We take shots. We're creative.
Yeah.
Goff throws it over the middle. The guys are wide open. He's like, they had one play where that happened yesterday. The rest, check down. But credit to the Packers defense for putting him in that position,
including the new guy who got, I think, 1 sack and pressure led to an interception on another, I believe, or interception or a fumble, one or the other.
The pick, Micah Parsons, you're talking
Parsons
about. Parsons
play, and I think he played like He didn't play the whole game.
No.
And they didn't have to shoot him up. That's probably the most encouraging sign yet, at least for the Packers. One other serious note, Top 5 at 5, by the way, we're doing an hour early. I apologize to all the dogs out there. Not trying to throw you off, but I want to give proper respect to our fine sponsor. And what the heck, it's halfway through the show. The horrible news breaking over the weekend involving the Naz Reid family. Torea Reid, the older sister of the Wolves forward Naz, shot and killed Saturday outside of an apartment complex in New Jersey. Shaquille Green, described as a 29-year-old man from Jackson Township, New Jersey, has been charged with murder, possession of a weapon for an unlawful purpose, and unlawful possession of a weapon in connection with Reid's death, according to a statement from the prosecutor. Reid and Green had been in a dating relationship, according to the prosecutor. When officers arrived after receiving a 911 call reporting shots fired, they saw Green running away from the scene. I'm actually reading from Johnny Athletic's account. In the Athletic, Torea was the oldest of 3 Reid children, including Naz and younger sister Chakaya. My older sister is super protective, Naz once told Minneapolis St. Paul magazine about Torea. She treats us like she's our parent. And we know the Naz Reid story as well. I don't know that we know very many details on the history there. Had there been domestic violence involved before? But it's just an absolutely horrific, unspeakable story, regardless of who it involves, obviously, in this case, connected with the Timberwolves via Naz Reid. Let's get a pause in here. Pete Bercich is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. I want to get to a couple of rules changes or new rules emphases worthy of discussion now that the Vikings are preparing for their first regular season game, and it's a chance for the fans to perhaps pay attention to a couple rules changes and tweaks that they were not even aware of. That is next.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Life moves fast. A new home, a new baby, a new chapter. But without an estate plan, your future's still vulnerable. With Trust and Will, you can name guardians, start a trust, create healthcare directives, and more. All online in about an hour. It's attorney-designed, state-specific, and built to protect what you love. Plans start at just $199, and every plan is safe, secure, and kept completely private. From families with young kids to adults caring for aging parents, Trust and Will makes it simple to take control, without a law office, paperwork stress, or court delays. Go to trustandwill.com and use code RADIO to save 20%. Start your plan today. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Estate planning is one of the smartest, most loving things you can do. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
This is Julian Edelman from Games with Names. Anyone else feeling hungry? Because Applebee's just cooked up the ultimate option play with their new Ultimate Trio deal. You can choose from 3 of their delicious appetizers and pair them up with 3 sauces for just $14.99. Craft your perfect trio from over 80,000 different combinations in this flavor-packed plate built for one, or to share if you're generous. You could stick with the classic pairings like boneless wings and buffalo sauce, mozzarella sticks and marinara, or brew pub pretzels with white cheddar beer cheese, or you could spice things up and try some unexpected combinations like dipping chicken wonton tacos in their honey Dijon mustard. The choice is yours. The Ultimate Trio is the perfect way to hit all your cravings in one plate and turn appetizers into an entree. It's time to head to your neighborhood Applebee's or order online today. That's eating good in the neighborhood.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang!
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Zach wants to know if there's any update on Gerb Schmidt's contract. No, there's none that I'm aware of. I can add this, though. We have confirmed for Friday, this Friday at 3:30, the return of Mike Tice to the Buffalo program. He will participate in Friday's prediction segment. We're moving. I mean, look, we're moving on. I mean, Gerby has said to move on, and regardless of whether, I'm never going to say never, but I am going to say that if Gerby is serious about not being available this Friday, we're going to do the picks without him. And it was a good opportunity to get caught up with Tice because he's back in the saddle as a football analyst, one could say. And in fact has his own, with a buddy out of Vegas, I think, a podcast. So that'll give him a chance to promote the podcast and get us a chance to get caught up and analyze what took place tonight, and then look forward to what might take place against 0-1 Atlanta on Sunday night for the Vikings. So Mike Tice, 3:30 prediction segment, that is confirmed 100%, at least for today. Hope this is a bit tongue firmly implanted in cheek about rules. That would be fun. That's from John Mail Carrier. Those can be fun. They can get a little boring for me, too. No, these are actual rule changes, emphases, etc., that I enjoy. This is a Seifert story from a while ago. And I think it's actually kind of a good reminder. The first item he talks about is the kickoff touchback moving to the 35-yard line, which on this show we said that's what you have to do. If you really are trying to change the momentum regarding having more teams return kicks, that's got to be the punishment if it goes into the end zone. You put the ball in the 35, and we're already seeing it. We're already seeing dividends, that there are a lot, the percentage is way up on returns, and we'll see if that continues tonight. What replay officials can and can't do. This is important for you to know tonight. Forget the bits. It's important. He reminds us that replay officials who work on site at NFL stadiums now have a longer list of penalties they can overturn if there is, wait for it, clear and obvious evidence that the penalized action did not occur. That now includes hits to the head and neck of a defenseless player and horse collar tackles. So, keep that in mind as well. Replay officials cannot, however, call for a flag to be thrown if the on-field officials didn't. That's an important distinction that I think a lot of folks don't get. Even if there is clear video evidence that one should have been. They're claiming the reason they're going this route is owners want to maintain the aesthetic of officiating the game on the field, giving replay officials responsibility for throwing flags when necessary. They say is re-officiating the play from afar. I agree. And I know we got to get it right, but I agree with that in concept. How about onside kick? We have a change there, too. Okay. Teams can now declare their intent to attempt an onside kick at any point in the game. Previously, it was only in the fourth quarter. NFL also tweaked, of course, that still takes away the element of surprise, but NFL also tweaked the alignment of the kickoff teams in hopes of giving it a better chance to recover an onside kick. So now, instead of lining up 1 yard behind the kicking line, the 10 non-kickers on the kickoff team can put their front foot on the line itself. Ooh. How about that? Guaranteed possession in overtime, except the team that opens overtime on defense will get a possession, even if the offensive team scores a touchdown on its opening drive. Previously, the first touchdown of overtime ended the game. Change aligns regular season overtime with postseason overtime, which the NFL adjusted in 2022, except that regular season overtime will remain 10 minutes compared to the 15-minute postseason overtime. There are some occasions that would prevent the second team's offense from getting to take the field. If the 10-minute clock expires during or by the end of the opening possession, the game concludes. And if the team that kicks off to start overtime scores a safety in the opening possession, the game is also over. Well, and by the way, I guess for the record, I'll give you the full list of plays and penalties that the NFL's in-stadium replay official can assist the referee on. Penalty enforcement, the proper down, timing or spot of a foul, the game clock, possession, completed intercepted or the direction of any pass, touching of a loose ball, boundary line, goal line, or end line, location of the football or player in relation to a line or the pocket area. And it goes on to roughing the passer, points, etc. Point of emphasis change on sportsmanship rules. This reared its head fairly early, I believe, in the Packers-Lions game. Officials will be looking to penalize certain celebrations and other behavior that the NFL said rose significantly last year. Taunting, defined in the rule book as an act that could engender ill between teams, was up 55% last season. Unsportsmanlike gestures rose by 133%. Those gestures now formalized in the rule book include, here's the quote, any violent gesture which shall include but not be limited to a throat slash, simulating firing or brandishing a gun, or using the nose wipe gesture.
Oh, nose wipe.
I don't even know that one. Is that one we've seen a lot of?
I think so, yeah. It's kind of a new one.
Or any act that is sexually suggestive or offensive. They all count. How about enforcing no timeouts rule? Prior to this season, officials were instructed to ignore timeout requests from teams in instances where they'd already used all their timeouts or were attempting to call a second timeout without a snap in between. And if an official inadvertently granted the timeout, there would be a delay of game penalty. This season, though, the NFL rulebook now calls for a delay of game penalty anytime a team requests an ineligible timeout, not just when an official inadvertently grants one. It's not going to be one of those, yeah, I heard you, but ignored you this time, but another time we didn't ignore it. So now they're saying, you try to call a timeout without any, we can't give you a technical foul.
Yep.
Like in basketball, but we kind of can with the penalty. We know the tush push is still legal, sadly enough, and we know we've got the I didn't see much virtual measurement moments yesterday. Did you? I watched parts of several games.
No, I don't think I did.
I don't know that I saw all that much of.
I think we saw one on Thursday night, the first game. I feel like there was one.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I don't remember any from yesterday when I was watching.
I don't either as well. I had one other nugget. What was it? It felt like I had another nugget related to. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do this last couple minutes before we prepare for Peter Bercich. Let me get to the right spot here, and let's do it all over again. I don't think we need to apologize for doing this for the second consecutive day.
It's the Bumper to Bumper Seal of Approval.
Is this baseball related?
It is.
This was going to come up in top 5, but I'm glad we're getting to it now.
Well, it will be, as I said, it'll be show history, because I don't think in the history of the Seal of Approval bit we've ever issued it to the same individual on consecutive shows. But it happened yesterday. I can't not do it on the weekday show. I just can't. Twins pitcher Joe Ryan receives for the second consecutive day the Bumper to Bumper, the official Bumper to Bumper Seal of Approval. Maybe we'll send him a banner.
This could help him in arbitration, because you know the Twins are taking him there.
100%. I don't know if he was prompted. I don't know if it was stuck in his craw and he said, I'm just going to go for it. But in a lengthy StarTribune.com piece, which we quoted from extensively yesterday, Joe Ryan, after getting shelled, by the way, not a really good performance, said, I wish Sonny was still here. By Sonny, he means Sonny Gray. I feel like things would be different if he was. If he was, I should say. In my opinion, not keeping Gray signing him to the 3-year contract that ultimately the Cardinals gave him, goes down as the biggest mistake we have made since I've been here. He wanted to come back. He loved it here.
We know it's not good baseball.
Loved it here. There were a lot of avenues we could have gone down, but if we had re-signed Sonny, I can guarantee you we would have been in the playoffs last year, and we'd probably be in a better spot this year.
It's frustrating.
Top-notch guy, great pitcher, incredible competitor, great guy in the clubhouse. I learned so much from him. We missed him last year. Who knows how far we would have gone? But now we would have had 2 straight years in the playoffs. We'd be riding that a little bit. Maybe it makes it a little easier for the Pohlad family to sell the team. Maybe we make other moves if they think we're really close to a championship. Now, of course, that strains credulity.
Former more than the latter.
Exactly it. And he acknowledges eventually, he says, look, it's not my money. I get that. But if we had signed Sonny, they would have been very happy about that decision. The return on investment would have been huge. I just think Sonny would have been so worth it.
It's a little frustrating.
We'll never know if he's right. But the fact that a player inside that clubhouse finally had the cojones to say what a lot of us have said, but we're on the outside looking in.
We're not, guys.
We're not. Well, we're not. We never played the game. We shouldn't really be allowed to talk about any of this. He's played the game. He's been a very successful pitcher this year. And whatever prompted him, it could be, if you want to go conspiracy theory, he wants to make sure the Twins trade him, because he doesn't want to be a part of whatever this rebuilding thing is. I don't care what his motivation was. The fact that finally somebody on the inside of the organization articulated this rage, and he clearly didn't do it as rage. He just did it very matter-of-factly. That's worthy. If that's not worthy of the seal of approval, I don't know what is. Finally we get a guy who's not going to play the party line and just go, hey, it's not my, it's up to them, and they can do what they want to do. Lays it out, and he lays it out perfectly. We'll never know how last season would have finished up. Maybe they would have collapsed anyway. But his point is, you squandered a lot of goodwill, not just among fans. You squandered goodwill within that clubhouse by having your most exciting season in a long time and then immediately cutting $30 million from the payroll and not even making a legitimate offer for Sonny Gray. And I'll maintain what you and I have talked about before. That's not obscene money in 2025. For
3 years, 75, pitcher. Right?
Now, he hasn't stayed as good as he was when he was here. We get that. There's ebb and flow. But 3 years, $75 million. And I think, wasn't the third year, wasn't it at the team option? I can't even remember. But whatever, it doesn't even matter. What matters is a guy inside, not those of us on the outside who aren't ball guys who are always going to get, well, you guys don't know, you don't understand nuance, you don't understand all the reality of this
local
thing.
TV deal.
Exactly. A member of the team in good standing basically says, yeah, I'm going to say it, even if nobody else will. That is worthy of the seal of approval 2 straight days.
You know how sometimes, I don't know if it's bots or if it's actual people, but a tweet that you had will get liked from like 4 years ago?
Yes.
You'll say,
I don't understand it, but yes.
Why is someone, I hope it's a bot, because I hope someone's not going all the way back, but somebody this morning liked a repost that I had from 2023, October of 2023, and it was a video of Johan Santana throwing out the ceremonial first pitch to Joe Mauer at, I think, a division series game. I think that was on the Jumbotron in ALDS, so that would have been probably against Houston.
Sure.
And Pablo Lopez is standing there. Johan Santana tells Pablo to wait before he gives him the ball, takes off his twin sweatshirt where Johan is wearing a Lopez jersey. He takes the ball from Pablo. He throws it to Mauer. It's short, by the way, and Joe's got to dig it out, which he does.
That's Joe.
And the place goes nuts. And the place is packed. And that was 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago. It feels like it was 50 years ago. And I set it up again today, and I said, that moment, like moments like those, that fall. And again, they didn't win the World Series. They lost in, I think, 4 to the Astros.
Yes.
But I just will never, for the life of me, understand how the owners could say, after moments like that, Johan to Mauer with Pablo, and a full house can say, we got to fix some things around here.
Well, I mean, look, somebody's pointed out, look, I don't buy that Sonny Gray loved it here, that he was ever going to sign here. He might not have, but they never made a serious attempt to do it. And that's the point he's making. He's trying to remind this organization that quality matters. investing in quality is what should drive any organization, and that's what, to him, Sonny Gray represented. And so he's saying, again, what needs to be said over and over again within that organization. Will it have any real impact? Probably not. But we give him, on this program, great credit for giving it his best.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Life moves fast. A new home, a new baby, a new chapter. But without an estate plan, your future's still vulnerable. With Trust and Will, you can name guardians, start a trust, create healthcare directives, and more. All online in about an hour. It's attorney-designed, state-specific, and built to protect what you love. Plans start at just $199, and every plan is safe, secure, and kept completely private. From families with young kids to adults caring for aging parents, Trust and Will makes it simple to take control, without a law office, paperwork stress, or court delays. Go to trustandwill.com and use code RADIO to save 20%. Start your plan today. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Estate planning is one of the smartest, most loving things you can do. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
This is Julian Edelman from Games with Names. Anyone else feeling hungry? Because Applebee's just cooked up the ultimate option play with their new Ultimate Trio deal. You can choose from 3 of their delicious appetizers and pair them up with 3 sauces for just $14.99. Craft your perfect trio from over 80,000 different combinations in this flavor-packed plate built for one, or to share if you're generous. You could stick with the classic pairings like boneless wings and buffalo sauce, mozzarella sticks and marinara, or brew pub pretzels with white cheddar beer cheese. Or you could spice things up and try some unexpected combinations like dipping chicken wonton tacos in their honey Dijon mustard. The choice is yours. The Ultimate Trio is the perfect way to hit all your cravings in one plate and turn appetizers into an entree. It's time to head to your neighborhood Applebee's or order online today. That's eating good in the neighborhood.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang!
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Shot.
Final segment show wrap brought to you as always by American Pressure, commercial grade pressure washer since 1975.
It's the Bumper to Bumper show wrap.
How about a quick hit from Pete Bercich at Soldier Field, Chicago, Illinois. Mr. Bercich, we're already getting a lot of rather alarming reports about the field condition, which tends to be a challenge at Soldier Field, as you well know, over the decades, largely because of concerts that they have usually right before, and they did in this case. So, and Chris Hockey's getting some national attention for some of the videos he sent out. We warned people several days ago about this. You know it. Can you tell if it is as bad as it looks? You've been down in the field. What do you think? Is this going to be a factor tonight?
Too early to tell. I mean, I'm watching guys warm up, and they look like they're doing okay. It's an interesting point because they refer to Soldier Field as a stadium in a park, and by that they mean it's a stadium, but the park district manages the field.
You know it.
So back in the day, they would not mow the grass when Adrian Peterson would come to town. I mean, it was ankle deep. Sometimes it was just bizarre. You just never knew. And, from up here, it certainly does not look great or optimal or what you would expect at this level, I guess. And the other thing, too, is that the vote in Arlington's coming up pretty soon. And if the city feels like it's the Bears are going to leave, then you're gonna get some kind of, the city's not going to like it, and you know how that goes.
Yes, I do. It sounds like we got some outstanding rehearsing going on in the background as well for you, right on time.
Yeah, this is kind of like the Olympics, I guess, for these guys. I mean, this is a big show.
Oh, that's
it's a big show. These, the Bears have been struggling, and they got a lot of hope this year, and they're definitely putting on a show for it.
That's a good place to start this. So to try to take away at least as much as one can in the first game, or even maybe the first half of the first game, how do the Vikings best try to take away some of that hope?
I think the one thing you have to remember, this is the first game, and for a lot of these guys, they haven't played in the preseason. So, and this is both sides of the ball. So in a game like this, I don't mean to sound sophomoric, but it's a lot about penalties. It's a lot about holding on to the football. It's a lot about getting the right guys on the field at the right times, and all the the system part of the whole entire game. That needs to go well. And if you can, in the first half or in the beginning of this game, set a tone. And, I mean, this is a defense, the only defense in the league last year that got a turnover in every single game of the year. Every single game. So if you can pick that up where you left off against a young quarterback who, despite his woes, did not throw the football away very much, only 6 interceptions all year long. If you're able to do that, you talk about taking the wind out of the sails of some people or the crowd or part of this Bears team, that would be the best way of doing it.
What's your gut tell you on Darrisaw? I don't think we have official word, but sometimes folks like you get unofficial word. What do you think? Do you think he's going to start tonight?
I have no idea, but whether it's Justin School or Christian Darrisaw, the part that's good is there isn't somebody lined up on the opposite side of the football that you're worried about per se.
Yep.
Okay, so the Montez Sweat led this team in sacks last year with 5.5. Okay, so nobody was higher than 6. Nobody. So between Grady Jarrett, 2.5 last year, Javon Dexter, who's sneaky, he's a sneaky good player in the middle, and then Deo Odangbo, who had 3. Are they going to have to pressure a lot to get them? Those are the kinds of things that you start thinking about. So my point is, no, I'm not. Whether or not Darrisaw is ready to go, I think Justin Schools is up for the task against this defense.
We know the Caleb Williams story. We know now who is running this team. So in trying to take confidence away from their quarterback and to get him to play a little bit like he tended to last year, chicken head cut off, right, from time to time, bailing out. What's the key? Is it simply a great pass rush? Is it more complicated than that? What's the key to keeping him off balance?
I think getting him off of his reads and progression, and you saw a little bit of that. Even you watch the preseason games. What can you learn from a preseason game? Well, there's some things that you can learn, and you watch against Kansas City. In Kansas City, they like to blitz and do some crazy exotic things. And when there were breakdowns in protection, there were breakdowns at the quarterback position. So that's key today for the Vikings defense. I mean, they're going to have to. Ben Johnson, I think, knows this defense as well as any other coach in the league. He sees it twice a year, so he's going to have a better feel for it. But the question is how much can that translate, and how much can you get a quarterback ready? I think they're going to keep Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland involved a lot in pass protection, just to help out. That's where the play action pass. That's the thing with quarterbacks, and it's like maybe they don't like lining up under center, but it's like it's good for you, right? It's the play action. If you want to shut down a pass rush, play action works extremely well. You saw it in Detroit for the last 3-4 years under Ben Johnson. I mean, it's like that's what you have to do. So, will we see some of that? I'm not sure.
Jordan Mason has been added to the roster of running backs, obviously, and the feeling is he's going to play a lot. He's going to get an opportunity to give the Vikings a little bit of different look. They give defenses a little bit different look. How big a factor can he be tonight?
The more I think about this game, the more I think that Jordan Mason is going to be a pretty important part, because you're going to want to run the football with the younger quarterback. and when you run the football, you can't be 2nd and 9 and 2nd and 10 after you run the football on first down. You need it to be 2nd and 5. And he's that kind of he was at or near the top of the league in yards after contact last year. I think he started out the season very, very well last year. So I think it's a sneaky big, Jordan Mason game. So look for him in short yardage scenarios. And then I think in the deep red zone where we've had trouble running, the spots where this team has historically had trouble running the football, those are the areas I think you're going to see a lot more of them.
The last item for you, Peter Bercich, for this evening at least. Thielen, I assume there's no reason to think he can't immediately be plugged in and be a factor, is there?
I agree 100%, especially in the red zone. I mean, his numbers may have fallen off over the last couple of years of his career, but he still had 5 touchdowns last year. He's a good route runner. Can he get open in the middle of the field if the other team's playing man-to-man? That's yet to be seen. Mm-hmm. But down in the red zone where you've got to be smart, savvy, and things happen extremely quickly, I really do think he could be a factor in that regard. So don't be surprised if Adam Thielen comes away with 5-6 receptions or maybe even a touchdown at the end of this one.
This should be fun. I'm definitely looking forward to this as an opener. I assume you are too.
Of course.
Yeah.
What could be more fun? What could be more fun than this? I mean,
yeah.
We've been talking about it for 6 months now, and it's like the game that'll never get here. That's that opening day, Monday night. It's like,
and it's finally
goodness.
Here. Good point. Absolutely right.
And then no matter what happens, you got a short week, and then you got to get ready for Atlanta, and you can't be, are we going to be 2-0, 0-2?
Yeah.
It's like, it's the season. It's a grind. It's 17 games. So just remember that, everybody watching at home. It's a long, long year.
Do me a favor and tell whoever the guy is who's blowing the horn, and he does need a lot more rehearsal as far as I'm concerned. Have a great call tonight, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, man.
You.
Be good.
Yeah, talk to you soon. Bye.
Pete Bercich from the Soldier Field visiting broadcast booth. Now just a couple of hours, a little more than that, before kickoff. 7:10, 7:15 is when we usually kick off these Monday night ball games.
Question for you?
Yes.
About the trumpeter, the bugler?
Yes. That does sound like a bugle, doesn't it?
So the na-na-na-na, hey, goodbye. Is that for the Vikings, or is that for the Bears to Arlington Heights? Is it some kind of political statement by a rogue bugler?
The Bears are one of those teams that have used like a piped-in version of that, and this is maybe their updated version for years. I don't even think it's that clever, to be honest with you, but that's just me. It's probably a little bit of both, but I think it's definitely taps on the Bears staying at Soldier Field.
It was a good run.
I think it was. It's from time to time. It was a pretty good run. That's true. I've saved maybe the best for last. I got to tell you, man, as good as the Buffalo-Baltimore game was, the Jets-Pittsburgh Steelers game was almost every bit as good. It was highly entertaining. And our guy, Aaron Rodgers,
he was good.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he was good.
22 for 30, 244 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, a 136.7 quarterback rating. Now, the only thing I would say is he did look slower. He does look like the mobility is starting to lose him. But as a quarterback, as a passer, he looked terrific. And I don't want to say I told you so. And I know one game's not enough evidence.
Against the Jets.
You got to factor in who they're playing. But I just hope KOC doesn't look back on this season and go, God, we could have. We'll get to J-Mac. It's fine. Let's have one of those seasons with A-Raj. Imagine that A-Raj as accurate and on time and confident as he looked in the KOC system. Just saying, that's going to be part of this. We said this months ago that if McCarthy's good, it's not going to matter, obviously. But if he's not,
right,
that's what we're going to keep hearing, because and I know A-Raj wanted to come here. He did not want to go to Pittsburgh. He may end up happy going to Pittsburgh, although their defense didn't look that good either. And by the way, Justin Fields looked good. There was not a lot of defense played in that game. But and I know where A-Raj wanted to play.
Yes.
He wanted to play here. And he did look like he's got, just again, not a great opponent. But again, it's the National Football League. So you got to just go on how you play. And Rodgers played great. He absolutely looked like the Jedi Master again, is what he looked like, and we didn't need him. And maybe by the end of tonight, this will all be forgotten. J-Mac will be so good.
It's our first look, yeah.
It's our first look. Think about it. After, again, as Bercich said, we've been waiting and waiting and waiting, counting the days. When are we going to get there so we don't have to analyze endlessly and speculate on a bunch of nonsense? Preseason, off-season workouts and projections and how confident does he look? And, he's a winner. He's won a lot of games. He's won everywhere, which is undeniably true.
Except high school. He couldn't get the state championship, and then COVID knocked out the season, and he went to IMG.
Is that right? I don't even remember that.
According to the Ben Gessling story I read yesterday.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very, very good point.
Good. All the beat writers, by the way, brought their fastball for the J.J. McCarthy profiles.
Yes, they did. They did.
They all went a little bit of a different angle. They all talked to different people, talking about Alec, talking about Seifert, talking about Gessling. We pretty much know everything we need to know about J.J. McCarthy now, other than can he play at the National Football League level. We know the entire backstory now, all of it.
Don't be afraid to run the ball. Don't be afraid. I did suggest yesterday.
Even in the bad side?
Well, that could end up being a factor. But maybe that does open up the receiving game because you know where you're going to cut. Although you could end up not being able to make your cut properly because of the sod being as bad as it is. I did say, though, as much as I want him to run, I wouldn't mind first down, first time we get the ball, a little play action, go deep. Just take a shot deep for 55 yards. You know who. Not JJ. They're going to have 3 people on him again.
It's got to be Thielen.
Got to be Thielen.
Tomorrow's guest on Bumper to Bumper.
50. Oh, that's right. He's on the list tomorrow. Also, Seifert tomorrow.
That's the plan.
And Vikings talking points tomorrow. I'm looking forward to getting reacquainted with Adam Thielen. And selfishly, for the sake of the bit, it'd probably be better if the Vikings won for that reason alone.
Yes.
For the first time, you say, okay, that might...
Loosey-goosey.
He's won and lost a lot of games. It's not like he's going to curl up in the fetal position if the Vikings lose. But for the start, to get us off on the right track, that might be a decent way to do it, especially if he catches a touchdown.
I was going to say, a Vikings win with a good list of Adam Thielen targets as opposed to a Vikings loss where he's yelling at JJ in the fourth quarter, give me the ball. We don't need that as the reintroduction, right?
We don't need... No, we definitely don't.
That wouldn't be great.
No. This was inevitable. 612 guy, Chicago. The city runs so poorly by Democrats that even the Bears are trying to get out. Further proof that almost anything can be politicized at any given moment. Well, again, I'm ready. I'm very much looking forward to it. I know you are as well. And tomorrow's show, full show tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
But it will probably be dominated by Vikings talk, although I don't rule out the possibility of the bumper-to-bumper seal of approval being delivered for the 3rd straight day to a certain Twins pitcher. I might be willing to do it the rest of the season.
Every day, just remind people.
As somebody put it, even if Joe's completely wrong about Sonny, about whether Sonny really wanted to stay here, he still is deserving of our praise for simply breaking omerta. Brilliantly put. That's exactly it. He broke the silence. Somebody had to say it. Because a lot of other people believe it, but they're not allowed to say it, especially in that clubhouse. So God bless Joe Ryan, who probably is in his last season and probably wants to go someplace else. Who could blame him? Thanks for watching. Thank you for listening. The official Vikings pregame show is coming up next. We will talk to you tomorrow beginning at 3 o'clock right here on The Fan.
Thank you for the memories. Thank you for the great time. We love you, Dan.
Well, go Twins. Thank you for the airtime, and I'll talk to you soon.
I think everybody's jacked up. Are you?
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21+. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Rob Gronkowski from Dudes on Dudes. Applebee's just cooked up the ultimate option play with their new Ultimate Trio deal. You can choose from 3 of their delicious appetizers and pair them up with 3 sauces for just $14.99. Craft your perfect trio from over 80,000 different combinations in this flavor-packed plate built for one, or to share if you're generous. You can stick with the classic pairings like boneless wings and buffalo sauce, or you can spice things up and try some unexpected pairings like dipping chicken wonton tacos in our honey Dijon mustard. It's time to head to your neighborhood Applebee's or order online today. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.